Hello, good afternoon, this is Diecast Loon. I hope you're all doing well, and I'm going to do a quick video on this little dinky diecast toys, or dinky toys, Camaro. I've had this for a couple of 3 weeks now, maybe a month. I can't remember offhand completely, but I actually got this from Phil from Diecast for You to See, and I was actually looking through some of my cars because most of my stuff's packed away, and this was packed away with some of the cars, some of my unopened cars, because I keep all my unopened stuff in one sort of drawer, and it just intrigued me because obviously, as we all know, or at least dinky is no more. At least as far as I'm aware of dinky, I'm not a big dinky expert, if I'm truthfully honest. I know a little bit about dinky toys, the original ones, but anyway, so this just intrigued me because obviously it's from Dinky and it is of a Camaro Z28. It's not the best example in the world, but I'm mainly interested to see how well the engine's replicated. So we are going to crack this open in a bit. This current toy, so some more there from this range. This is from the 80s, from what I've found out. So it's been in this blister quite a while. And I did a little bit of research on what happened with Dinky and stuff, and it was quite boggling. Lots of reading, and I got a bit bored of them, totally honest, because I like to sort of look up stuff and get a brief outlay of what's going on, but I'll read some of the sort of bullet points that I wrote down, because if I'd have read everything about Dinky's history and what happened to it, and even to this day, we'd be here all day. But basically, it said at one point that a company called HK1 were purchased by Mattel Inc. in 1966, and and the Dinky toy range was shut down under their direction, as Mattel tooled up for their, impending Hot Wheels products in about 68, 67, 68. So Mattel ended up owning Dinky at one point, or at least the company that had Dinky, which was this apparently HK1, which I think is a Hong Kong based company. And it also said as well that early Hot Wheels models bared resemblance to the Dinky 57 series. And again, I'm just picking out the bits that I was reading out, and then the bits I know is I know that Dinky toy was owned originally by Meccano, and they owned it from, I think, the Meccano Limited from about 1934 to about 64-ish, and then it went to a company called Triang from 64 to about 1980, and then from 1980 to 97, Matchbox had it. So that's a little bit about it, and I'm not quite sure who's got Dinky now. I think it still is a Chinese-based company. They were reissuing Dinky toys, if I remember rightly, under Atlas, because I think I've got a few here. So it was a British-based company. It used to be based in Liverpool, and it's been changed relatively quite a few times, but this would have probably come under, I would imagine, this would have been under the late sort of Triang to Matchbox starting, I suppose. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I didn't want to write everything down that I read because it would have been all over the shop. I just found it interesting that at one point this Japanese company had it, and Mattel ended up with it. And anyway, if I'm wrong, I apologise, and like I said, I don't know. My main knowledge is Matchbox and and Majorette and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get it open and have a brief look. So let's get the camera down a little bit. And there it is. So it's got these are actually stickers rather than tampo print. This is, I should imagine, a a tampo print or maybe a painted detail. I don't know. It's got, not quite sure. It's got a sort of a Corgi feel to it. It's like the Corgi Junior range. It's got that similar feel to the base. Cheap, but not rubbishy cheap. Suspension on it is pretty good. Obviously, it rolls relatively well. I don't think it's a licensed brand. I can't see any licensing anywhere, so hence why it just probably says, just Dinky Toys, made in Hong Kong. But let's have a look under the bonnet. And a very, very basic engine, so it's just stamped part of the metal. So yeah, I mean, wouldn't be my choice of thing to go after. I expect if I seen this in a flea market or a car boot sale for a relatively sensible price, I would get it. I did have a quick look online. These are fetching in box condition between sort of £6 and £8, but like I said, this is something that I won from Phil from Diecast for you to see, and it was an interesting thing to have. It'll go back into my collection. But anyway, like I said, I just stumbled across this earlier and just thought, why not do a little video on it? It is diecast. But it is does have a very cheap feel to it. But it's quite solidly made. And even though this does look really, really cheapy, it's not too bad. But it is a shame to see how Dinky Toy ended up, in my opinion. Dinky Toy made a very nice toy at one point, and it just, in the 80s, it must have gone for a real cheap feel. But anyway, with that, please like, share and subscribe. Please stay tuned for more wheel swaps, restorations, box openings and other good stuff in the future. I'll probably upload another wheel swap this afternoon, as I've got a few ideas in mind, and I'm going through a wheel swap stage at the moment. And with that, I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching.